No one stopped him.
No one stopped him.
No one stopped him.
No one stopped him.
No one stopped him. These are the words reiterated by friends and family members of Melissa Jane Shoop. Born in Sylvania and later moved to Maumee, Melissa was known by many in her community for having a contagious smile, being a hard worker, and most importantly, her can-do spirit.
Our shenanigans started at the daycare, and that never ended. It didn't stop us.
Beth Farrell.
So we basically were inseparable. We spent every day together up until I moved, and then it went down to weekends. But we were together every weekend, and we would pretend to be asleep when either one of our parents picked us up so that we could stay the night, because they didn't want us to stay the night. Now that we're parents now, I understand where they were coming from, but
Years or whatever, and one of my first memories is the very first day Melissa came home from the hospital. It was a little weird for me. I thought that I was helping my father out and my brother out with moving furniture around. I remember asking a lot of questions. I was only 3 at the time. It was my very first memory. I remember thinking to myself that when Melissa came home, she could think exactly how I thought. Like, I remember looking at my brother. He was 6 years old at the time, and I was 3. And I remember thinking to myself, I thought to myself what I thought my sister was thinking. So I thought to myself that she was thinking to herself, who was her older brother? Who was her older brother? And I remember looking at my brother Josh, and he was 6, I was 3, so there's a big age difference between that.
Bouncing into this world, all 5 pounds, 13 ounces of her, and she never quit moving from that moment on. She was a delightful little girl, lots of fun to have around. She had lots of friends growing up. My dad had significant health issues, her grandpa, and she would go over and she would sit on his chair and tell grandpa it was time to cheer up or time to feel better, because she really wanted him, she really loved him, and he really loved her. And their birthdays were both in July, so they celebrated their birthdays together. He wasn't a big celebrator, but she sure was, and so every year she would sit on his lap and blow out her candles, and he wouldn't have to really celebrate. He could just sit there, and she would do all the celebrating for the both of them. We enjoyed many trips to Disney World. Her brothers would be fascinated by the fact that the cute little girl would get all these freebies from people, and they wouldn't get anything free. We had to pay for everything they got in the stores and whatnot in Disney World. The little girl wanted a little bag of candy, the cute little girl, and they would give her candy, and that kind of drove her brothers crazy. But yeah, I mean, she had lots of friends, and it was the house was always full of kids, and she was a hard worker. She did well in school and played sports, and just everything. I mean, and when Lily was born, Melissa was really happy. I mean, she'd gotten the little girl she dreamed of having, and we all had a good time with her. We would take her places to the zoo and whatnot, and Lily would play little jokes on, or Melissa would play little jokes on Lily and hide from her, and Lily would run all over the house looking for her, and then she'd jump out and scare her.
Reminiscing from memories of their past, Melissa's brother and sister stopped by at her home to discuss some recent memories growing up at their home.
This is your first time being back home.
This is where we spent most of our nights.
Yeah, we moved in here when I was in 5th grade. Yeah, because she went to Union until 3rd grade, and then we moved in here, and then she went to Wayne Trail with you, right? Yep. So yeah, I think I just turned 11, so then she must have been 8, 7, or 8. Yeah, that's when we moved in here. Oh yeah, I remember you guys used to always hang out here. You guys would hang out here waiting for me to get back when I was driving. You guys went with me to go take my driver's test for my 16th birthday. I passed that boy. I had my gold truck. I remember I was so excited. Sometimes my friends would hang out with you guys too. That's crazy. She's got candles there too. I guess she at night, Alethea will light the candles. So she's like, it's like a calming thing. And I've been here since the incidents happened, and I do feel like it's like she's with me when I'm here. Like I can feel a sense of relief. Not like, it's like as in like she's with me, like not relief, but she's with me. You know what I mean? I can feel it. Whatever, like, we used to write these fake letters. We picked Dominique Luciano, she was gymnastics, so this is back in like 98. Melissa was like a little girl. And we used to write these letters to him and put them underneath over there in Hugo. This is Anderson Park. Over there is Hugo Park. So we would like leave them underneath like the swings and stuff like that. And he would come and he'd read the notes and he'd write them back like I love you. And we'd laugh about it. And it was kind of a sick joke or whatever. But his name was Dan. And I remember one time he was going to put like the letter underneath there, and Melissa comes running out, dude, and she ruined the whole entire thing. I just remember seeing her like running out like as a little kid with her curly blonde hair, and us being like, no, like no. She gave it up and everything. He's seen it. He was like, no, don't take it. And she grabbed it and she like started running back. Like it was the funniest thing ever. I kind of feel bad though, like picking on a kid like that, but we were kids, so we didn't know any better.
Studies show that 1 out of 7 women and 1 out of every 25 men have been injured by their intimate partner. An abuser's access to a firearm increases the risk of homicide by 400%. Domestic violence is prevalent in every community and affects all people regardless of age, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, gender, race, religion, or nationality.
The Shoop family and the Drillard family are always been close. In many ways, we've been one family. When I think of Melissa, this one scripture verse comes to mind. Love is always patient and kind, is never jealous. Love is never boastful or conceited. It is never rude or selfish, does not take offense, and it is not resentful. Love takes no pleasure in other people's sins, but delights in the truth. It is always ready to excuse, to trust, to hope, and to endure whatever comes. And I think that this is Melissa. Melissa was nothing but love. Her smile, her laughter, her heart was all love. And God too is love. And Melissa now is closer to God. Melissa and family, you always hold a place in our hearts. for all of us, I pray that love will be our guide as we remember, as we pay tribute, and we reflect on Melissa. God bless you all.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Melissa was more than just a friend. She was like a sister to me and my entire family. She came with us on our family vacations. She was there and helped me babysit my younger siblings. In fact, I'm pretty sure they liked her more than they liked me. She had the biggest heart, the goofiest smile, and was the best mom ever. Melissa, we love you and we will forever miss you. And my heart goes out to the entire Shoop family.
When I first met Melissa, it was at Fort Miami, I think, and our moms were there, and my mom introduced us as cousins. So for the longest time, I actually thought we were cousins. I can't remember when I found out that we weren't actually cousins. And when I first moved to Mommy from Toledo, she was probably the first person to be kind to me and be so welcoming. I didn't really have friends, but Melissa was there and just so welcoming. I remember Katie, her and I dancing to Destiny's Child. Like we were each a different member. She was just the kind of person to welcome everybody with open arms. And that's something I always really admired about her. It didn't matter what happened, she just accepted whatever it was. I don't remember her ever being the kind of person to throw a tantrum. She faced everything face forward. This is what it is, I'm gonna deal with it and I'm gonna keep moving on. She's one of the hardest workers I've ever met in my life. And one of the kindest people, and I'm gonna really miss my cousin.
It didn't take long for Melissa to become a part of our family. She came over one day and asked my dad if she could stay the night. He told her, "Sure, stay as long as you want." She packed a suitcase larger than herself and stayed for a week. After that, it seemed like she was just always there. She came on vacation with us, and she came to all our holidays. She played a big part in all of our weddings. We loved Melissa, and she loved us, and she's dearly missed every day.
Melissa was my best friend growing up. She was like a sister to me. She was always at our house playing around, and I still can hear that goofy laugh of hers. She always had the biggest, brightest smile and just was such a good, loving person. Our hearts are breaking for the entire Shoop family. Melissa will be dearly missed.
Yeah, I remember, I used to drive Melissa to school every day, and we used to always see an old lady walking with an umbrella that was a red, white, and blue, and yellow, bright colored umbrella, and no matter the weather, she was always out there walking, so I always told Melissa, this is probably going to be you someday, and unfortunately that'll never happen, but, and we used to, it was when she was younger. Melissa was funny in the way that she didn't like to watch television. There was only one TV show that she liked, and it was Arthur, which was on PBS, and I used to tape it for her every day while she was at school so she could watch it. Other than that, she was not a TV watcher. Just a good kid, really. And And then as Melissa got a little older into high school and stuff, I didn't see her as much. But I know one incident when she was a senior in high school and she was taking her final exams, that I had to bring her social studies exam home with her, and I took it for her. I got a B on it, and it made her happy and also made me happy, so it was kind of funny. Happy to see, and I'm sure most people that know her will say that about her. And the one thing I'll always remember and not forget is every time we saw each other, I could always count on her saying, "I love you, Ed." Yeah.
I think that when I was good and on the weekends if I was good, she asked me if I wanted my cousins to stay the night, and sometimes I said yes, and sometimes I said no, I've been having a bad day. And also she took me and my cousin to Nickelball if I was also good, and we went to Nickelball a lot, and I had a ton of cousins sleep over. Like, I could only have at least 2 cousins stay the night each week. So yeah, if I wanted them to, and if I was good the whole week. I would say that can we have something that we could do for my birthday? Because last year I didn't get to do anything for my birthday.
Hi, I'm Bonnie McAtee, and I am stepmom to Katie, Melissa's best friend. The girls have been together ever since I remember. Spending weekends on sleepovers seemed like an every weekend occurrence. Even as the girls grew into adulthood, they were there for each other through the good times and the bad. Long phone conversations at one time were about high school dances, boys, girl drama. They turned into conversations on parenthood and the sharing of the milestones of their children. Though we now all have memories of Melissa left to share, we must remind ourselves to look into the eyes and the hearts of everyone here to find a little piece of her. And in that sense, she will live on forever. I want to thank you all for coming today. Your attendance here speaks volumes about the impact that Melissa had on her family, her friends, and the community.
Hi, I'm Mike McAtee. I'm Katie McAtee, her father. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time and to share your love and support for the family today. As far as Melissa goes, we've known her for probably most of her life. She grew up in the same area as Katie. They were longtime friends, growing up together, going to school together, sharing prom times and pictures, overnights, and times around our pool with friends. We will miss Melissa, no doubt. But I would like to say that during this time of grief, and there's nothing wrong with sharing your grief and sadness, but I'm hoping that you'll get through it and not hang on to that sadness especially. But, and I believe that Melissa would agree with me that she would want you to hold on to happiness and just remember the good times with her. Rest in peace, Melissa. We love you.
I think the most memorable thing about Melissa was her laugh. Like I was saying, it's more of a cackle than a laugh, but ever since I can remember, she's laughed that way, and she was very close friends with my family. You know, that's ironic because that's how I met Katie. In family events, Melissa would be at every one. She was more like a cousin. She was just the life of the party, a social butterfly.
Oh, I'll tell